In today's video, we're going to be looking at balancing equation. Now, this is too easy. Now, after today's video, I guarantee you, you will always know how to balance an equation after this. Now, we're going to go from scratch, right? So, what we try to do is divide this into two sides. You have your reactant side, you have your product side. Reactants to the left of the arrow, products to the right of the arrow. So, you list your reactants. You have one magnesium atom, you have two oxygen atom. Try to keep them in the same line. So you have one magnesium, you have one oxygen. And of course, I'm going to be starting from easy and getting harder. So straight away you see that your magnesium is okay, but now you see that your oxygens are off. So I have one oxygen on this side, two on that side. So what can I do to this number? I can times that number by 2, and that will give me an answer of 2. Okay? Now the number you times it by, that number goes in front of the compound. Not in between or after, in front of. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a 2 in front of. Now that 2 not only affects your oxygen, that 2 also affects your magnesium. So now what you have is you now have 2 magnesium. Okay? Now we have to go to the next side and we have to figure out how can we get 2 magnesium on that side. And you can do that by times it by 2, which will give you an answer of 2. Okay, and you take that 2 that you're times it by, not the answer, or whatever you're times it by, and you put that in front. And then you do a final check. 2 magnesium on the left, 2 magnesium on the right, 2 oxygen on the left, 2 oxygens on the right. Equation is balanced. Okay, too easy. Let's have a go at another one. Okay, so here goes. We start off by listing all the elements we have on the left reactant side, all the elements we have on the right product side. So we have 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, we have 2 hydrogen on that side and 1 oxygen. So straight away we see that our oxygens are off. So how can I get it for being 2 on that side? We need to now have 2. Okay, that 2 that you're times it by, that 2 needs to go in front of the compound. So now you have 2 oxygen, but you've also affected your hydrogen. Okay, now you have a total of 4 hydrogen. It's as though you are having 2 water molecules. So you now have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to be clear, you now have 4 there. Okay, so that is also affected. So now you have 4. Now what can you do to get 4 on that side? You need to times that by 2, which makes it 4. So it's not 4 that goes in front, it is what the number you're timesing it by that goes there. That is now going to be 4. We do a final check. That's 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Equation is balanced. Remember, you're only allowed to put numbers in front. Let's have another go. Feel free to pause the video and have a try. Okay, nitrogen is 2, hydrogen is 2, nitrogen is 1, hydrogen is 1. Straight away, sorry, hydrogen is 3, my bad. Okay, so straight away, you know what, let me clear that so as to not confuse you. So hydrogen is going to be 3. Okay, so what do we need to do now? Straight away you see our nitrogen is off. I can times that by 2 and that will make it 2. You put that 2 in front. So you now have 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen. However, you've also now affected your hydrogen, which now makes it 6. So what can I do to make this 6 on this side? You can times it by 3, that now becomes 6. You take that 3, you stick that 3 in front, then we check 2 nitrogen, 2 nitrogen, 3 times 2, 6 hydrogen, 2 times 3, 6 hydrogen. Equation is balanced. Too easy. Let's try another one. This one now is slightly different. Make sure you pay close attention to this. So sodium is 1, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 1, sodium is 1, hydrogen is 3. How am I getting 3? 1 plus 2, that gives you 3. Oxygen is giving me 1. Okay, so straight away I see that my hydrogens are off. Please note, I'm lining up my sodium, my hydrogen, and my oxygen. Okay, so that the one that we want to fix now is our hydrogen. Right? Now, you know I've been timesing them before, but this one is slightly different. Now I need to look and see what can I do to make these two numbers the same. So if I put a 2 here, that 2 is gonna give me 2 hydrogen and another 2 hydrogen, which is now gonna make 4. Okay, so what we do, instead of timesing it by 2, we're gonna cross that out and it now becomes 4. Go over to the next side. Okay, what can I do to make this hydrogen the same as that? We now need to times that by 2. So that's just ever so slightly different. That's now going to give me 4. So I'm going to put a 2 in front. The hydrogen, so now that becomes 4. Also, that now makes it 2 oxygens. Okay, good. And also, if I go back and check on this side, I've also affected my oxygen, which is 2. And I've also affected my sodium, which is now 2. Then we do a final check. Okay, so if I look here, my sodium is 1, but my sodium on this side is 2. Therefore, I need to times that by 2, which now makes it 2 here. So my final answer is 2 sodium, 4 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen here, and another 2 there makes it 4. 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Okay, so that one is just a little bit more tricky, just slightly a little bit more tricky. All right, now here's another one. Okay, combustion reaction, C H O, C H and O. How many carbons? 1. How many carbon? 1. How many hydrogen? 4. How many hydrogen on that side? 2. How many oxygen? 2. How many oxygen on this side? 3. So the rule is, when you get these type of reaction, always try to balance them in carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So straight away we see our hydrogen is off. So let's times that by 2, which makes it 4. We put that 2 in front of the compound in which it's found. So we're going to put a 2 there, okay? So put that 2 in front of which is found. That 2 has now affected my oxygen, which is now going to be 2 there and another 2 there. Now that becomes 4. We're not going to times that 3 by 2 because that's going to make it 6. Okay, what we've done literally is added a next oxygen. So we go to the next side. Let's try and fix our oxygen. What can I do? That's now going to be 4. So I stick that 2 in front. Okay, good. And then let's double check. 1 carbon, 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 oxygen. So our final answer is CH4 plus 2 O2 gives you CO2 plus 2 H2O. Okay, that's our final answer. Okay, now here's another one. Now the trick is, if you have a polyatomic ion, which is common on both sides, my advice to you is not to split that up into its separate nitrogen and oxygen, into its different atoms. My advice to you is to treat it as one entity. So silver 1, silver 1, okay. Nitrate, I'm treating this as one entity. Let's call that 1. Nitrate, still treating it as one entity, but there's a bracket there. That's going to be 2. Okay, copper is 1. And copper is 1. So straight away, my nitrate is off. So I need to times that by 2, which now makes it 2. I put that 2 in front. Okay, good. That 2 is now affected my silver. So that's now going to become 2 there. So how can I get 2 on this side? I need to times that by 2. Okay, that now becomes 2. We do a final check. 2 silver, 2 silver, 2 nitrate. Okay, so that's now going to be 2 nitrate. Let me clear that to show you what's going on here. So that's 2 nitrate groups right there. Good. Then, where am I? 1 copper, 1 copper. Equation is balanced. Okay, I mean, you could split the oxygen into 6, but that makes it a little bit more challenging. Okay, and you want to save time in your exams. All right, now final one. Okay, so Fe is 2. Fe is 1 on that side, and oxygen is 3. Oxygen is 1 on that side, carbon is 1, and carbon is 1 on that side. So straight away, I see that I have 2 here and I have 1 here. Alright, good. So what can we do? Let's try 2. Notice I said try. So let's put a 2 there. Let's put a 2 in front there. Alright, my oxygen is off. So I have 3 here. I have 1 here. Okay. So what I can do is, how can I get these to be in the same? Alright, now possibly what you're thinking about is to try 3. Okay, so if I do that, and notice I said try, and well, that one is fine. So let's put a 3 there. Okay, but that's now affected my carbon. So now I'm going to have 3 on this side. What can I do to get that? So I can put a 3 here. Alright, so let's check. 2 iron, 2 iron, 3 oxygen. Okay, 3 oxygen, 3 carbon, 3 carbon. Alright, so equation is balanced. Okay, good. Okay, so a challenging balancing equation. Okay, so let's have a look. Based on my previous video, you should know how to do this. So you have your zinc, you have your oxygen, you have your Br, you have your F. So you have your zinc, you have your oxygen, you have your Br, you have your F. Zinc is 1, oxygen is 1, Br is 1, F is 3. Zinc is 1, oxygen is 2, okay, Br is 2, and F is 2. Okay, so what do we do here? Straight away you notice that your oxygen is off, your Br is also off. So if I times my oxygen on this side by 2, I'm going to take that 2 and put in front of the compound. That's now going to affect my zinc. Okay, remember balancing is trial and error. Okay, so that's not going to affect my zinc. My zinc is now become 2. So on this side, I now need to change that to 2. So I times that by 2 and I put a 2 there. That's now going to affect my fluoride. My fluoride is now going to become 4. Okay, good. But there's no way for me to get 3 and 4 here. And my Br straight away there is 2 and 1. So ideally, what I want to be doing is I need to think about how can I get my BR to be the same as that, and also a number here, odd number and an even number. So how can I get this odd number being an even number? That's how you should be thinking. So if I times that by 2, my BR by 2, that's not going to become 2. So what I need to then do is put that 2 in front. So now I end up with 2Br, but now I'm going to have 6 fluoride. Okay, so now I'm going to now have 6 fluoride. So how can I get 6 fluoride there, or fluorine there? I'm going to need to scrap everything I've done here, and I'm going to need to times that by 3 to make that 6, which therefore means I'm going to have to change that number that I've put in front here, because remember, balancing is trial and error. I'm going to have to go back here, and I'm going to have to put 3 in front. Okay, good. So now that's going to be 6. That's now going to affect my zinc. Okay, that's now going to affect my zinc, which is now going to be, I need to change that to now being 3. Okay, which means I'm going to have to go back on this side, and I'm going to have to change this part here to be 3. Okay, remember, as I said, it is trial and error. Okay, so that's now going to become 3 zinc. So I need to change that to being 3. Okay, so remember, don't get frustrated. Ideally, you want to be doing this with a pencil and an eraser. Okay, so now I have 3 zincs, and also I now have 3 oxygen. So I'm going to have to change my oxygen. See how many changes I have to make? Okay, good. So that's going to be 3 on this side. Now my oxygen is not okay. So now I have 3 and I have 2 there. So what I can do is times that by 3 to make it 6. Okay, and I need to find out what can I do to the oxygen here to make it 6. So I'm going to have to go back here. That's going to have to be erased. Alright, that's going to times by 6, which means therefore that 6 need to go in front here. So the 3 has to go. Okay, 3 has to go. That's now going to be 6. So now I have 6 zinc, which therefore means I'm going to have to change by 3 here to a 6. So now I have 6 zinc, 6 oxygen. So now I need to go back on the other side and change that. I now need to change that to 6. Okay, good. So that now becomes 6, and I need to remove my 3. Change that to 6. Okay, so now that becomes 12. Okay, so this now becomes 12. So let me erase that one here. So my fluorine is now 12, which means I have to times, sorry, my fluorine is now 12. So what can I do to make that fluorine 12? Okay, that's gonna have to be 4. Okay, so we have to go back, we have to change all of that. Okay, so remember, in this case now we're back here, this is going to be 3. Alright, so we have to times that by 4 to make it 12. We're going to take that 4, put in front. Now my BR is no longer 3, my BR is now going to be 4 times, 4. My BR is now going to be 4 times that by 2, which makes it now 4. So I need to put 2 there. So my balance equation is 6 zinc, 6 zinc, 6 oxygen. I need to have 3 oxygen here. I forgot to put the 3 here, but that 3 is right there. Okay, so let's go again. 6 zinc, 6 zinc, 6 oxygen, 6 oxygen, 4 Br, 2 times 2, that's 4 Br, 4 times 3 is 12. Fluorine, 6 times 2 is 12. So that's your balanced equation. Okay, so remember, balancing is all about trial and error. I mean, that's the hardest you get in terms of a balancing equation. Okay, so again, trial and error. Please make sure that if you're watching this video, please watch the previous video. All right, good. All the best in your GCSE.